Hey guys, good morning. Thank you so much for joining me for today's live workout. I'm so excited to be moving with you today. Today is going to be a really powerful workout. We're going to be using weights. I've got a set of 5-pound weights, and I also have a booty band. This is optional for the lower body work. Another option would be to use ankle weights if you want to step up the intensity even more for that portion of the workout. This workout does include a warm up and a cool down, so it's a very comprehensive workout. You're going to start your day or whatever time you're tuning in a really good way. You're going to feel strong, powerful, accomplished, well stretched. So with all of that in mind, let's go ahead and jump right in. We're going to begin with a warm up. So I'm going to kneel. You can sit with your legs crossed or you can be standing for this. I'm going to place my hands on my abdominals and just begin with some really nice deep breathing to set the tone for the rest of the workout. So sitting or standing up really tall, stacking each individual vertebra one on top of the other. The shoulders are down, the chin is parallel with the floor, and the crown of the head is elevated up toward the ceiling. So starting off with that really good posture. We're going to inhale in through the nose, filling the back of the rib cage. And exhale through the mouth, deflating the rib cage, controlling that exhale out through pursed lips. Inhale in through the nose. And exhale out through the mouth, softening the shoulders, breathing all that air out of the lungs. Now let's add that core engagement. So we're going to inhale, let the abdominals relax. And as you exhale, I want you to really draw your belly button in towards your spine as though a corset were tightening around your waist. Good. Inhale in through the nose. And as we exhale, draw your abdominal wall towards your spine. Good work. Last breath like this. Inhale. And as we exhale, we contract the core throughout the entire range of the breath coming out as we relax the shoulders at the same time. Amazing work. Now let's start mobilizing the joints. So I'm going to take a side view for this. You can stay facing forward. Again, you can be kneeling or standing. I'm going to begin with some arm circles, lifting the arms up toward the ceiling and then circling them down and back, mobilizing those shoulders, keeping the posture nice and tall and upright here. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth as we circle those arms down and back. Working through any stiff areas in the shoulders, lubricating the shoulder joints as we reach, opening through the chest, and then circle those arms down and back for 4, good, 3, nice energetic circles, 2, and last 1, reach up and back. Now circle your arms back forward, plant them down on the mat. So if you're standing, you're going to need to come down to the floor for this. Your wrists are below your shoulders here. We're going to step back through that left foot, flexing the left foot, and just feel that stretch in the calf as you push back through that left heel. Plug navel in, extend your right arm out long. Deep inhale here, and as you exhale, I want you to rotate back, looking out over right shoulder, and then bring the arm down. Good. Stretching back through that heel the entire time as you circle that arm, opening through the chest. Good. Last 2, reach a bit further, getting a nice rotation. And last 1, reach back. Amazing work. Lower the hand down and now stretch back through that right heel. Find length through the back of the right leg. Good. And extend the left arm. Plug navel in, nice tight core. Inhale here and exhale, pull the arm back. Good. A nice smooth fluid motion to stretch the shoulders. Good. To lengthen through the back of the leg and to mobilize the neck and the spine. Good. Let's go one more. Reach back and stretch. Plant your hands down on the mat. Nice work. Now from here, we're going to find the center of the mat. Take the knees nice and wide. Push back into a child's pose, stretching and lengthening through the hands. I'd like you to curl your toes here. So just Your toes are touching the mat, not your feet. And we're going to shoot forward into a plank. So contracting the belly button up toward the spine, nice flat line with the body, and then sink back into your child's pose, keeping your toes curled, lengthening through the spine, nice wide knees. Inhale and exhale, shoot forward. Coming backward into your stretch and forward into plank, tightening abdominal wall. As you do so, inhale and shoot forward, shoulders above those wrists. Good. Powering up the core here, powering up the upper body, squeezing the thighs as you shoot forward. Inhale here and exhale to plank. Great work. Let's go 4. Lift abdominal wall as you shoot forward for 3. Good. Warming up the entire body here for 2. And on our last one, we're going to come forward and hold for 10, 9, 8. Make sure your bum isn't lifted here. Nice flat line with the body for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Amazing work. Bring yourself into a kneeling position. Lift the shoulders up and melt away tension in those shoulders. Circling them down and back for 3 and 2. And final 1. Amazing. Now from here, we're going to move into our upper body work. I'm going to be kneeling for many of these exercises, but please do feel free to stand up if that's more comfortable for you. It can be better for those knees. If you are stood, your feet should be hip distance apart. And if you're kneeling, or standing, you want to really make sure that that posture is nice and tall, shoulders are down, neck is long, and chin is parallel with the floor. We're taking our weights in the fists, palms are facing forward, and we're aligning the weights with the shoulders. So we're really nice and open across the chest here, but we're not arching the spine back, okay? So you're keeping your spine in neutral. We're lifting the weights overhead and then pulling them down. Lifting them overhead, straightening the arms, and then pulling them down. Now, as you pull those weights down, I want you to really contract your upper back muscles. Good. And visualize yourself growing taller up through the crown of your head as you pull those weights down. That'll encourage you to maintain that good posture as you work through this exercise. Good. Bring those weights up and pull them down. Inhale to lift. Exhale, tighten your core as you draw those elbows in toward the sides of the body. Great work. Now I say pull down because I want you to really move down with resistance. So you're pushing the weights up and then pulling them down, making each part of the exercise really effective. Good. Let's go 3 and 2. You're doing so well. And last one, we're going to come down and pause halfway, and we're just going to do some little pulses here. So we're going to lower and lift. So just part way lowering, part way lifting, holding it here, keeping the tension on those shoulders and those upper arms. Good. Pulse it up. I'm lengthening through my fingers here, but you can have your hands in fists if that's better for you. Keep that spine nice and tall and pulse it out here. Get those shoulders really fired up. Starting off strong for 3 and 2 and 1. Bring the weights down. Good. Give your shoulders a bit of a roll. And I'm going to turn facing this way. You can stay facing forward if you would prefer. So again, I'm kneeling. I'm not arching the spine or rounding the spine. Spine is in neutral. We're going to go into some bicep curls here. So I'd like you to lock your upper arms in toward the side of your body. We don't want those elbows coming forward or backward. And we're bringing the fist toward the shoulders. Palms are facing in. Good. Keeping the tension on the biceps as you lift and lower the weight. Locking those upper arms in toward the side of the body. Good. Not letting those elbows move around. Good. We're hinging from the elbow, but we're not letting the elbow come forward or backward. Good. Keep those shoulders down away from your ears and focus on those biceps doing the work. You can speed it up, you can slow it down depending on what weights you have. Heavier weights, obviously you're going to do fewer reps. Lighter weights, you might be moving at a quicker pace. Good. Let's go 5 and 4. Resist on the way down. 3 and 2 and final 1. Now we're bringing it up and pushing the weights overhead, keeping those arms parallel. Lower and extend the arms. Bicep curl, bring it up and push the weight overhead. Lower, lock those arms in and lower the weight. Good, so you're getting that bicep work on the way down as well as on the way up, and then strengthening into the shoulders as you push those weights up toward the ceiling. Good work. Push up and lower down. Good. Make this movement really precise, so you're never sort of letting those arms fall or flop back down towards your sides. You're controlling the movement on the way up and on the way down. Good. Keeping that chin parallel with the floor, gaze is straight ahead. Let's go 3 and 2, belly to spine. And final 1, bring it up and lower it down. Great work. Okay, we're now going to get into some tricep work. You can either use one weight and hold it in the center as you lift and lower. Otherwise, you can take both weights, if they're lighter like mine, and hold them together so that they are parallel. Take the weights overhead, stack the spine nice and tall. Keep those upper arms fairly stationary, so we don't want the elbows coming forward or backward as we hinge from the elbows. And then lift. Hinge from the elbows and lift. Good. Inhale to lower, keeping those upper arms parallel. Good. And lower. Good. Inhale to lower, exhale to lift. Inhale and exhale, push that weight back up. Good, so you should feel this work in the triceps. So really important here that you're focusing on the backs of the arms doing the work as you lower and lift. Good, keeping those upper arms straight up and down, perpendicular with the floor, not letting your head drop here. You want your neck in line with your spine, and try not to arch the spine either, okay? So maintaining that nice neutral spine as you lift and lower those weights. Triceps are working hard. Good. Let's go 6, 5, 4. These are tough. This is one of my favorite tricep exercises, super effective. It gets that sculpt. 2, and last 1. And lower your weights down. Really good. Okay, we're going to continue to work the upper back and also the triceps from an all fours position. So I'd like you to position your weights at the top of your mat. The weights are below the shoulders, the knees are below the hips. Make sure you've got space behind you because you're going to extend your left leg out long and lift it. So we're finding this 3-point balance here. If at any point you're losing stability with that left leg lifted, simply pop that left knee back down on the floor below the hip for more stability. So we're taking the weight, the right fist, and we're pulling it up, contracting the upper back muscle on that right side. Lower, just hover, pull up. Good, we're going for 5, 3, and 4, pause at the top, really contract that upper back muscle, and 5, lower the weight, and we're gonna lower into a tricep push-up. So keeping those upper arms in close toward the side of the body, pushing up for 1, pushing up for 2. Good, let's repeat that. 1, 2, 3, drive that elbow up. 4, and 5, lower down, tricep push-up for 1, keep the neck nice and long, and 2, lower the leg as needed. Good, 1, 2, focus, drive that elbow up. 4, nice tight core. 5, lower and lift, lower and lift. Last 2 sets. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Lower chest, push up through those fists. Lower chest and push up. Last set. 1, 2, abs in. 3, 4, drive that elbow up. 5, last 2 tricep push-ups before we switch sides. Lower and lift. Great work. Okay, I'm just going to take a stretch. Place your hands down on the mat. Sink back into child's pose, lengthening through the spine, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Good work. Okay, back into position. We're going to work the left side now as we extend the right leg out long. For that balance challenge, extend and lift the right leg, lengthen through those toes. 1, left elbow drives up. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Push up through those fists. Push up through those fists. Good work. 1, 2. Keep your gaze down on the floor, neck in line with the spine. Good. Lower and lift. Lower and lift. Great work. 1, 2, 3. Give it energy. 4 and 5. Lower, lift, lower, lift. Last 2 sets. 1, 2. You've got this. 3, 4, 5. Maintaining that nice stable trunk. Core is engaged. You're doing so well. Last set. 1, 2. Give it all you got. Pull that elbow up. Nice work. Lower, lift, tricep push-up, lower, and lift. Amazing work. Bring yourself into a kneeling position and just circle out those arms for 3, and 2, and final 1. Nice work. Now we're going to move into a bit of lower body work. We're going to do some lower body work, then some ab work, and then we're going to finish off with some lower body moves as well. So I'm going to put my booty band on for this. Again, if you don't have one, you really don't need it. You're still going to feel the work without any resistance. Ankle weights are always an option here too. So from this position, I'm going to come into all fours. I'm going to drop down onto my left forearm. So my left forearm is parallel with the top of the mat. I've got a gentle bend in my right arm, and I'm lengthening through my neck. So I'm not letting that right shoulder lift up by my ear. From here, I'm going to hover the right knee up off the mat and then lift and open to the side into a fire hydrant. Good. Lift and open to that side. Really lift up, squeeze the glute at the top of the lift, and then lower. Good. Nice work. Contracting your core as you do so here as well. You'll get some ab work in at the same time as strengthening the gluteus medius and the outer thigh. Good. Let's go 5. Hold at the top of every lift. 4, 3. Nice work. For 2, and final 1. Now from here, we're going to lift the leg up, extend the leg, bend, and lower, keeping that shoulder down away from your ear. Lift, extend, bend, and lower. If it's too much with that extension, just keep moving up and down in that fire hydrant with the knee bent. Good. I know these are really tough, especially with that band. But again, super effective for sculpting that side booty, sculpting that side booty, and working those thighs and that lower body strength. We've got 3 more. Stick with it. Whew, sweating so much already. Good. And 2. And last 1. Extend, bend, and lower. Whew, those burned. Okay. We're going to come down onto the side now. I'm going to prop myself up on my left forearm so that the left elbow is below the left shoulder, stacking the hips, knees, and ankles, tightening the core here, lifting that lower hip just off the mat. From this position, we're going to inhale, and as we exhale, we're going to lift up, widening the legs. Good. If that lift is too much, you can do this with your lower hip down on the mat, like so, okay? So pick your level of challenge. Hand is on the hip or behind the head, wherever is comfortable for you. We're lifting and lowering. Let's go 9 and 8, 7, really lift that lower hip if that's the variation you're doing. 6, keep the inside of the feet glued together. 5, 4, abs in. 3, you're doing so well. For 2, and final 1, lower down, lift just that top leg and pulse it up. Good. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whew, nice work. Okay, I'm gonna lay down on my side body here. You can be on your outstretched arm or propped up on your hand. We're gonna extend the legs out long, pick them up and bring them slightly forward so we're in a pike position. From here, we're just gonna start off with some parallel leg lifts. So we're lifting that top leg and then lowering it down. Now, as you lower down, I want you to move with resistance. Imagine you're moving through thick cement, thick wet cement. Good. For 8, 7, 6, 5. Relax those shoulders, tighten your core. 2, and 1. I'd like you to pause at shoulder height and we're gonna start drawing some circles. So we're gonna circle up, feeling that resistance of the band, down and around. Now I want you to keep your torso really still and stable here. So anchor down through that bottom leg. Toes are pointed, thighs are switched on. It'll help with stability, core is tight, and pause. Reverse direction of those circles, circling backwards. I know these are tough. You're doing so well. Good. Let's go 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold it there, little micro pulses for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Oh my goodness, that was intense on that side. Really good work. Okay, now we're gonna come over and do the other side. So I'm going to turn this way and just take a breather here, breathing deeply in through the nose and out through the mouth. Now I'm dropping down onto that right forearm. Right forearm is parallel with the top of the mat. We've got that gentle bend in the left arm. I'm going to float the left knee and then lift it. Lift it to the side and lower. Lift, squeeze the glutes and lower into those fire hydrants. Good. Switching our focus now onto these left glutes and thighs. Good. Lift and hold and lower down. Let's go 5, 4, 3, abs in for 2, and final 1. Great. Okay, now we're lifting and extending. Good. If you didn't extend on the other side, don't extend on this side. Just stick with the fire hydrants. Good. Lift, extend, bend, and lower. Lift, extend, bend, and lower. You've got this. For 4. Keep those shoulders down away from your ears. Good. And on our final 1, we're going to kick it out, bend it, and lower it down. Really good work. Okay, coming down onto your side, propping yourself up on that left forearm. Knees are bent, knees are stacked, hips are stacked, ankles and toes. Good. We're coming up into our elevated clamshell. Nice. If that's too much, you're keeping that lower hip down on the floor. Good. Breathe out to lift. Really cinch in your waistline as you do so, so you're working your obliques for an extra added benefit. Let's go 3 and 2 and final 1. Nice work. Lower down. Lift that lower or that top part of the leg and just pulse. Little controlled pulses. You're doing so great for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice work. Let's come down onto the side. Make any adjustments with your band as needed. Extend those legs out and bring them slightly forward. So you're in that pike, core is tight, hand is down on the mat, and we're lifting and lowering that top leg. Anchoring down through that lower leg, so the lower leg is active as well, which helps with stability. Good, let's go 10, 9, keep those legs parallel, keep those hips stacked. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Pause at shoulder height and start circling forward. Drawing a circle in the air with that big toe. I know these burn. Keep working against the resistance of your band, getting the most out of this movement. Nice, strong, stable core. Pause, reverse direction with those circles. Breathe through it. I know it's so tough. 2 and 1. Pause and pulse up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whew. Oh, I didn't think I was going to make it with those pulses. Amazing work for powering through. All right, time to remove the band. Need a break from that band. Place it off to the side, and let's just sway the knees from side to side. Regulating the breath, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. You just worked those glutes and thighs so hard. Okay, nicely done. We're going to switch our focus to our abs now. And I'm going to be using the weights, but these are optional, not necessary. If you're not holding on to weights when we're doing the moves, I'd like you to have long fingers. Okay, so we're coming down onto the back, resting head, neck, and shoulders down. And we're just going to take the weights over the shoulders, palms are facing in, legs are about hip distance apart here. We're inhaling, and as we exhale, we're bringing the weights to the side or the hands to the side, peeling head, neck, and shoulders up, and then lowering down. Curl up and lower with control. Curl up, tightening the core, flattening the low back to the mat. Good work. Inhale to lower. Exhale to curl and crunch up. So I want you to really focus on your core engagement as you come up. You're resting your head on top of your shoulders. You're looking out between your inner thighs. And then you're inhaling to lower down. Good. Really firing up those abdominals. Connecting with that breath, connecting with that core engagement. For 2. And final 1. Good. Now we're going to continue that movement, but alternating knee in toward the chest. Good. Amazing. Bringing the knee in toward the forehead as the weights come down to your sides. If that's getting to be too much with the weights, you can take your hands behind your head, supporting head, neck, and shoulders, and just really focusing on that core engagement. So if the weights are preventing you from fully engaging your core, then just drop them off. Good. Let's go. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Amazing work. Okay, from here we're going to go into a double leg stretch with a leg lift. So it looks like this without weights. You can be placing your hands on either side of your tailbone, bringing your knees in, extending, lowering one leg, and then bringing the knees in. That's for supporting your lower back. If you are using the weights, you can use 2 together. I'm just going to use 1 dumbbell. I'm going to bring the knees in and then extend the legs out long, lower my right leg and lift, and then bring the legs back in. Good. Extend, lower the left leg, and then bring the limbs back in. Head, neck, and shoulders can be down on the mat for this, or they can be in a crunch position. So you're lowering the leg, lifting, alternating sides. Good. Lower, lift, belly to spine, and hug everything in. Good. Amazing work. Lower, lift, and bring it in. Lower, lift. Great work. Working those lower abs. Last 2 sets. And last set. Lower, lift, and then roll up to a seated position. Really nice work. From here, I'm going to grab hold of both of my weights. I'm going to take the weights out in front, curl back. You can either pause going back this far and then lift, or you can follow me and come all the way down to the mat. That's the more challenging variation. Lifting up, taking the weights overhead, dropping the shoulders, tucking the tailbone, lowering down. Lift up and lower down using your lower ab strength. So you're coming up, working your upper abs, and you're lowering down, working your lower abs. Again, if these weights are preventing you from moving with good form, drop them off. This is really tough with the weights. I'm shaking. Good. Last one. Come up and then lower it down. Great work. Okay, now I'm going to just take a hold of one of my weights. I'm going to bend the left knee, weight is over the shoulders, and the right leg is straight. We're inhaling here, and we're exhaling to cross over, pressing low back into the mat, lowering the leg so it's hovering above the floor, weight above the shoulders. If it's too much with the leg straight, I want you to bend it as you cross over. Good. We've got 7 and 6. Cross over, cinching in that waistline. For 4, working into that waistline. 3, lift that left shoulder right up off the mat. For 2, and final 1. Nicely done. Switching sides. Nice deep breath to prepare. Inhale and exhale to cross over to the left. Good. Now your low back pressing onto the floor as you come up is really important. You don't want to be swaying or rocking in the hips. Good. This rotation is happening around the rib cage to really isolate the work in those obliques. For 3, lift that right shoulder up a little higher. For 2, and final 1, bend both knees and roll up to a seated position. Great work. We're going to continue to work our obliques here with some twists. I'm just going to hold on to one weight here. So we're sitting up nice and tall. I'll turn so that you can see what's happening with my lower body. I've got my ankles, knees, and hips aligned. I'm not going to let my legs sway from side to side as I go into these twists. So I'm sitting up really nice and tall to start with. Holding, you can either have your weight in your chest like so, if it's a super heavy weight. If it's a lighter weight, you might want to have it out in front, so you're challenging yourself a little bit more. I'm going to curl back into the shape of a C with the spine, only going back as far as I can. where I can feel the work in the abs, but my lower back isn't straining. So if you need to, come up a little higher. We're gonna cross over to the left and then cross over to the right. Drawing an arc in the air with that weight. If you've got the heavier weight, it looks like this. So you're just working into that waistline as you sway or as you rotate from side to side. Have a look at that lower body. Your knees, of course, will be moving a tiny bit, but you don't want them doing this. Good. Keep those legs, keep that lower body stationary. Working that core, working the arms here as well. Feet are flat on the floor. Let's go 8, 7, belly to spine, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring yourself up to a seated position. Amazing work. Okay, now final little push here before we stretch. We're going to get into those glutes again. I'd like you to either use your weight behind your knee like so, holding it in place, or pop your band on around your thighs. So either variation. We're going to, I've got my weight just behind my left or my right knee. I'm going to point the toe and lift. Point the toe and lift the knee. So my shoulders are below, my wrists are below my shoulders, my knees are below my hips. I'm not letting the spine arch as I lift. I'm focusing on those right glutes. Good, let's go 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, squeeze that booty with every lift, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's hold at the top of the lift and pulse the big toe up toward the ceiling. Good, little pulses here. Good work, keep pulsing. Poking a hole in the ceiling with that big toe for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good, now I'm gonna come down onto my forearms, interlacing the fingers, elbows below the shoulders, and I'm going to flex the right foot, lifting and lowering. Same movement, keeping it in place by squeezing my hamstring and my calf muscles. So it's an extra added bonus if you're using the weight in behind your thigh. Good. Or behind your knee rather. Let's go 5, 4, pushing that heel up toward the ceiling, 2, and 1. Hold it there, pulses. Little pulses, pushing that heel up toward the ceiling. Last 10, 9, 8, lift the knee a bit higher. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whew. Oh my goodness, those burned. Now I'm switching the weight, putting it behind my left knee. Again, the booty band will work for this, ankle weights will work. Okay, coming into my all fours position, pointing the left toes, and then pushing that weight, that big toe up toward the ceiling. Good. Tightening the core. Keeping those hips square with the mat, keeping the shoulders broad. Let's go 8, 7, nice strong stable trunk. 5, 4, 3, squeezing those left glutes. And 1, hold it there. Pulse that big toe up toward the ceiling. Little controlled micro pulses. Getting deep into those glutes. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Amazing. Lowering down onto those forearms, flexing the foot, squaring those hips with the mat if they're not already. Nice, stable, broad shoulders. Tighten the core with every lift. Let's go 8, 7, working those glutes. 5, 4, 3, relax the shoulders down away from your ears. 2, and 1. Nice long neck, tightened core. Start pulsing that heel up toward the ceiling. Pulse, 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 pulse. Good. Last 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whew. Oh my goodness. Okay, time to stretch it out. We've gone a little bit over for time. Sorry about that. But it'll be a quick and enjoyable stretch to finish off. So stick with me if you can. We're going to lower down onto the back, hugging the knees in toward the chest. Just taking a moment here to regulate the breath. Hug those knees in a little bit closer, stretching the low back. Then lower the left foot down to the floor, cross the right leg over the left, and interlace your fingers behind your left thigh, hugging that left knee in, stretching out the right glutes. Relax your shoulders here, hug that knee in a bit closer to deepen the stretch. Let's go 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Switch the crossing of your legs, left over right. Interlace your fingers behind your right thigh. Hug that right knee in. Stretching out any tight areas in the hips and the glutes. Relaxing shoulders, relaxing your face, breathing deeply, hugging that knee in a bit closer. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring knees together. Take your hands behind your thighs. Roll yourself up. Lift your arms up and fold into a back body stretch. Breathing deeply in through the nose and out through the mouth. Grabbing a hold of your calves or your ankles or your feet. Stretching through your spine, stretching the backs of the legs. Relaxing head and neck. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring the soles of your feet together. Splay your knees out to the side. Sit up nice and tall, then hinge forward, stretching out the inner thighs. Again, continuing to open in the hip area. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Cross your legs. Take your right arm across your chest. Stretch out the shoulder. Applying a bit of pressure to the back of that arm. Feels really good. Keep lengthening through the neck and the spine as you do so. And then switch sides, taking the left arm across the chest, stretching out those tight spots in the shoulder. Breathing deeply. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower the arms, lift the shoulders, and roll them down and back. For 3, melting away tension. And 2, opening through the chest. And last 1, setting up for really good posture for the rest of your day. Thank you so much for joining me. That was intense. We worked really hard. You should feel proud of yourself. I loved working out with you this morning, and I look forward to moving again with you sometime soon. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye, guys.